So hello again class, engineer ko here, naniniwala sa kasabihang, taong kinikilig sa akin nakatitig. Okay? So for today class, we are to discuss Module 5, titled The Bidding Process. Okay? So first up class, i-discuss muna natin kung ano bang definition natin ng bids. Yeah. So yan class, no? So a bid refers to a signed offer or proposal submitted by a supplier, manufacturer, distributor, contractor, or consultant in response to the bidding documents. Okay, so technically class ang bid, ito class yung ating proposal, okay, dun sa procuring entity. Okay? Yan. So meron tayong dalawang kinds ng bid. Okay? Bid class, ito yung type ng parang procurement method. Okay? So procurement method to class. So meron tayong tinatawag class na open bid, tapos meron tayong closed bid. So open bid class, ito yung ginagamit natin, yung competitive bidding. Okay, so open bid class is used for public projects. So technically class, lahat ng contractors are allowed to submit their bid due to public advertisement. Okay, closed bid naman class, ito yung ginagamit ng private projects. Okay, dito class, ang galawan dito is selection of contractors are sent an invitation for bidding. Okay? So technically class, meron tayong two general types ng bidding. Okay? So yung open bid used for public, tas closed bid, private projects. Okay? So yeah. So next up class, discuss natin yung two envelope system bidding. So two envelope class kasi technically magbibigay ka ng dalawang envelope. Okay? So yung first envelope class, ang laman nito, yung eligibility, tsaka yung technical documents. Okay? So eligibility class, more or less, pwede ka bang mag-bid? Technically kasi class, doon sa mga bidding kasi class, may mga minimum requirements yan, no? So kumbaga kung yung project class, more or less bahay, di ba? Or like school na lang. Okay? So medyo isa-strain na rin yan class ng government or like yung procuring entity class. Is-train nila class kung kaya mo ba talagang gawin yung project. Okay? So dito lalabas class yung eligibility requirements niya. Okay? Technical naman class, more or less, ito yung technical aspect class ng proposal mo. Okay? So yun class yung laman ng first envelope. More or less class yung minimum requirements as a contractor, tapos yung technical proposal. Okay? Second envelope naman class, dito mo na ibibigay yung financial information tsaka yung documents mo. So financial info class, more or less, yeah, yung financial standing ng company mo. Tapos the financial documents naman ng class, dyan nalalabas yung financial proposal mo dun sa project. Okay? Technically, ito na yung pinaka-bid mo for the project. Gets ba? Okay? So, next up class is ano yung envelope sealing. Okay? For both pala class, no? So, depende rin to. So, dapat class may isa kang original, tapos dalawang copy. So, technically, ito class, depende rin dun sa invitation kung ano yung re-record nila. It's either 1 or 2 copies or 3. Okay? Pero more or less class, it should be properly labeled. So, yung copies mo class, kung nagre-require sila ng dalawang copy, dapat lagyan mo ng copy number 1, tapos copy number 2 for both documents. Okay? Tapos yung sealing naman nito class, yan. More or less class, mas magandang ganito. So parang meron tayong table of contents, no? Tapos meron tayong, ano ba tawag dito? Bookmarks. Okay? Kumbaga kung ano yung laman ng table of contents mo class, lagyan mo ng bookmarks para mabilis siyang i-scan. Okay? Tapos yun class, yung mga copies mo again, it should be properly labeled. Okay? So properly labeled dapat yan class, no? So again, di ba, two envelope system tayo. The first envelope class, dapat ilalagay mo dun yung eligibility tsaka yung technical documents mo. For the second envelope class, dun mo na ilalagay yung financial documents. Okay? So again, class, dapat ito, yung label. So label mo kung ano yung original document, tapos yung copies ng document na yun. Okay? So yan. So para magka-idea tayo class kung anong laman. So in terms of eligibility documents, class, meron tayong tinatawag na class A, tapos class B. Okay? Class A, class technically kasi, yun yung parang worth ng uh, eligibility document na yun. So class A, class more or less, mas, sabihin mo nang mas refined, mas mataas yung value niya. Okay? So ano yung mga class A documents natin class? So ito yung registration class ng dito sa departments na to. Pag meron kang mayor's permit class, so more or less yan yung permit mo to operate or business permit approved by the mayor. Okay? Tapos, ito, meron tayong statement list of ongoing government and private contracts. Awarded but not yet started. So technically class, ito na yung parang resume mo class, no? So yan yung parang resume natin. Siyempre, more or less class, gusto nilang malaman kung meron ka na bang projects, no? Yeah. Yung projects mo class, syempre gusto nila class makita kung ano na ba yung kaya mong gawin, ano yung nagawa mo. Okay? So kasama dyan class yung mga ongoing projects mo, tapos yung natapos mo na. Okay? So, ganun yan. Yan yung parang list. Tapos meron pang class. So kasama rin dyan class yung audited financial statements. Yeah, binigay ni BIR. Okay? Tapos yung class B documents natin, class, ito, credit line commitment. Okay? Tapos meron din tayo sa joint venture agreement. Okay? In terms of technical documents naman class, technically, nagva-vary to per project. Kasi syempre class, depende kung ano yung project mo, iba yung i-require niya na technical documents. Okay? Pinaka-basis natin dyan class kapag vertical or horizontal. Okay? Basta magva-vary yan class, depende kung ano yung project mo. Okay? So ito class, sample lang to. Kinuha ko dun sa ano ba yung project na to. Yan. Okay, so meron tayong class bid security, technical specs. Okay? Schedule of requirement, meron din tayong supplied yan. Tapos yung omnibus warrant statement. So again class, ito, depende na to kung ano yung i-require. Okay? So same rin class dito sa ating second envelope, yung financial documents. So more or less class, nagva-vary rin to, depende dun sa scope ng project. Pero ang pinakalaman rin lang talaga nito class, more or less, is yung financial bid mo or ano yung, ito yung hindi nawawala. Okay? Ano yung bid offer mo or proposal in terms of yung money to be used class para dun sa project. Okay? Tapos yung susunod class, more or less, depende na yun kung ano yung scope ng project or kung ano yung project mismo. Okay? Okay? So next slide class, paano nila pipiliin kung sino yung mananalong winning bid? So meron tayong tatlong galawan dito class, no? So first class, meron tayong tinatawag na low bid selection, best value selection, tapos meron yung qualification-based selection. So ang pinaka-common dito class is itong low bid selection. Okay? So low bid selection class, ang galawan dito, ang pinaka-focus lang natin is yung price ng bid mo. Ano yung bid mo doon, okay? So syempre class, ang mananalo dito is yung lowest bid. Technically kasi class, ang ginagawa nila, magbibigay sila ng minimum specifications. So dapat ma-meet class nung bidder yung minimum specs na yun. So since yun rin lang yung gustong specs class ng owner, syempre ang pipiliin na niya class yung pinakamababang bid. Okay, so ganun class yung low bid selections. Meron rin tayong tinatawag class na best value selection. So technically, hindi kasi, unahin na lang natin class yung qualification best. Best tuloy. So, sunod natin class yung so okay na tayo sa low bid selection, no? Sunod natin class yung qualification based selection. So dito sa selection na to class, Ang kino-consider lang dito class is yung qualification ng contractor. Kumbaga class, sila na yung pipili ng contractors. Okay? So, ang galawan dito class yung owner, mag-i-issue siya ng request for qualifications. So, as in, ang pinaka-basis lang ng owner class dun sa winning bid is yung qualification mismo ng bidder. Okay? So, lastly class, meron tayo ng best value selection. So, best value selection class, kino-consider yung dalawa. Yung price class tas yung qualification ng contractor. Okay? So, this time class, yung owner, mag-i-issue siya ng request for proposal. So, dun sa proposal na yun, class, ipro-provide nun yung scheduling and budgeting ng project. Okay? So, more or less, class, ganito yung galawan in choosing for the winning bid. Okay? So, tuloy-tuloy lang natin, class. So, again, class, ito yung bidding process natin. No? So, na-discuss ko na ito sa Module 4. So, more or less, class, mag-start tayo dito sa pre-procurement conference. So, ito, class, dito i-assess yung readiness ng bidding document. Okay? After mong ma-sure kasi yung bidding document, na-plansyan mo na lahat, ipopost mo na siya. Okay? So, pag pinost mo, class, yung lahat ng interested bidders, class, iko-contact ka. So, after nun class, na-establish mo na kung sino yung mga bidders mo, magbibigay ka ngayon ng class ng pre-bid conference. Dito may discuss class lahat ng specifications and all. Kung ano yung gusto mong mangyari. Or like yung alaman class ng bidding documents. Okay? After mo discuss yun class, magbibigay na sila ng bids nila. Tapos magaganap na class yung submission of bids, yung opening ng technical proposal, tapos yung opening ng technical pala to class, technical tsaka eligibility. Ito yung first envelope. Okay? So, lahat class ng pasado dito sa first envelope, bubuksan na yung second envelope. So, kapag palyado ka class dito sa first envelope, hindi na ikaw consider yung second envelope mo. Okay? So, after mo open lahat yun class in public, i-evaluate na yan. So, pipiliin na class kung ano yung winning bid. Okay? So, again class, discuss naman na natin kung ano yung methods, no? So, ang most common dito, class, lowest bid wins. Okay? So, after manalo, class, napili mo na yung winning bid, medyo tingnan mo ulit yung qualifications niya. Kapag na-sure mo na, class, na super qualified siya, class, doon mo na ibibigay yung kontrata. Okay? So, ito, class, yung detailed natin, discussion ng bidding process. So, unahin natin, class, yung preparation of bidding documents. So, technically, class, yung bidding documents natin, so, ang bidding documents pala, class, no? Bidding documents or yung bid docs class, ang mag-prepare niyan is yung client or like yung procuring entity. Okay? Kasi di ba ang laman ng bidding documents class, ito yung technically, yan yung ibibigay mo class dun sa mga bidder. Para alam nila class kung ano yung gusto mong mangyari, ano yung minimum specs, ano yung kasama sa kontrata, para makapag-bid sila accordingly. Okay? So, lahat dapat class ng preparation ng bidding documents, inline dapat yung class sa standard ng GPPB or yung board natin. Okay? Tapos yan, specifications and other terms. Yeah. So, ang ilalagay mo sa bid docs class is dapat yung minimum requirements. So, lahat class ng nakikita nila sa bidding documents, yun na yung minimum na gusto mong mangyari. Okay? So, sa paggawa ng preparation class ng bidding documents, dapat clear tsaka simple terms yung gagamitin mo. Hindi yung highfalutin or ambiguous, yung mga masyadong vague, ganun. Lalo na class, ang pinag-uusapan is yung specifications ng project. Okay? Tapos, more or less class, bawal pala to. Bawal ka class mag-refer ng brand names. So, in terms of dun sa specs mo class, bawal mong sabihin. Technically, bawal mo sabihin yung brand class. Yung talagang magsa-specify ka class, yung parang more or less pipilitin mo yung bidder mo na gantong brand yung gusto ko. According to the lotto class. Okay? So, dapat ang galawan mo sa specs class is i-identify mo or i-describe mo yung property nung material. Okay? Ganyan. Tapos sila na class yung pipili ng technically ng brand. Okay? Tapos yun. Lastly class, since merong maraming specs or requirement class yung preparation ng bidding documents, yung bidders nating class, pagbabayarin mo sila. Okay? Para ma-recover yung cost ng preparation tsaka development. Kasi more or less class may taong gumagawa rin ng bidding documents. Okay? So siya yung kailangan mong bayaran class. So for every bidder class, magbabayad diyan ng fee dun sa bidding documents. Okay? So yun. So sino magde-decide class ng cost ng bid docs? Si BAP. Bidders, Bids and Awards Committee. Okay? So as per law class, meron tayong approved budget ng contract, tas kung ano yung maximum bid nung ay anong yung maximum cost plus ng bidding document. So ito class yung babayaran ng mga bidders na kukuha or interesado dun sa bidding documents. So yan class, no? So titignan natin class 500,000 and below. Yan. Parang kung titignan mo class is ano ba? 0.1%. So ang maximum cost class is 0.1% nung approved budget. Okay, kumbaga tanggalan mo siya ng 3 0. So yung yung upper limit class tanggalan mo ng 3 0, yun na yung maximum cost ng bidding documents. Except class dito. Yeah. So hindi pala siya laging ganyan class, no? So para magka-idea tayo class, tignan na lang natin yung table. Pero more or less class 0.1% yan. So again class, for 500,000 and below, 500 pesos. For 1M, 500,000 to 1M class, 1K, and so on. Okay? So meron pa pala class. So technically class, ito na yung specs ng bidding documents. So yung bidding documents mo class, dapat available na siya on the same date of advertisement ng invitation to bid. So kumbaga class same day, kumbaga prior to the making class of invitation of bid, dapat meron ka na ng bid docs. Okay? Tapos class, dapat yung bidding documents natin nakapost na sa PhilJeps. So technically pinag-usapan natin dito kasi yung government projects. Okay? Tapos pwede rin siyang ma-download class provided na nagbayad ka na ng fee. Okay? Tapos class, ito na yung contents ng bidding documents natin. So dapat andito class yung ABC natin, yung instructions to bidders, ano in terms of reference, ano yung eligibility requirements mo, yung plans and specifications class. Ito yung pinakagusto natin class. Ito yung dapat meron lagi. Okay? Kasi more or less class, so di ba andyan na yung plano. So para hindi na mahirapan yung bidders class, more or less dapat yung quantities mo nakasolve na. Para ang gagawin na lang nung bidder mo class, gamit yung quantities, i-multiply nila doon class sa unit cost. So yung unit cost nila, para meron na silang idea class, or like para agad-agad meron na silang price kung magkano nila titirahin yung project. Okay? Tapos meron din dyan class yung parang program of works. Dapat kasama rin pala sa project class ito. So ilan dapat yung construction days. Yan, yung time ng delivery ng project. Okay? So again class, ang pinakamalaga dito, again technically itong tatlo, para mabuo mo yung pinaka-bid mo talaga. Okay? Syempre yun din yung project. Technically lahat. Pero ang pinakagusto natin class, para mapadali yung estimate natin, bill of quantities, okay? Siguro yung completion date. Tapos para may basis tayo sa estimate class, ano yung approved budget ng kontrata or ng project. Okay? So ganito class ang itsura. Sample natin ng bid docs. So yung una class, ito is yung horizontal. Horizontal structure. Okay? So titignan nyo class, ganito yung table of contents niya. Okay? Ito naman class ang sample ng vertical structure. So titingnan nyo, high school siya extension. Tapos ito naman class yung table of contents. So kung i-compare natin class, mas marami. Technically, hindi naman super dami. Depende rin kasi. Okay? Kasi basta naman makuha natin class yung minimum content class ng bid docs. Okay? So again class, ang reference natin for module 5 is still yung RA 9184. Okay? Yan. Yan yung sample. Horizontal, vertical structure. Okay? So again class, next slide. Tuloy-tuloy lang tayo class para matapos. No? Yan. So pre-procurement conference. So pinaka-use class ng pre-procurement conference is ito. Para ma-sure class yung readiness ng bidding process. Okay? Tapos ito class dapat ma-conduct ito. Okay? So dapat mangyari class yung pre-procurement conference before yung posting or advertisement no invitation of bid. Invitation to bid. Okay? Tapos class kailangan dapat laging may pre-procurement conference kapag yung approve budget of contract mo is 2 million and above. Okay? Sino yung mag-a-attend class? Yan, sila yung mag-a-attend ng pre-procurement conference. Okay? So, ano naman class yung invitation of bid? So, again class, invitation of bid, ito class yung i-advertise mo. So, technically yan class yung ibibigay mo dun sa newspaper or yan yung ilalagay mo sa PhilJeps para uh, ma-advertise class yung gusto mong mangyari or like yung gusto mong i-procure. Okay? So, ito class yung contents ng invitation to bid natin. Okay? So, dapat class andyan yung brief description of the subject matter or kung ano yung gusto mong i-procure. Okay? So, nakasulat rin dapat dito class kung ano yung criteria mo for the eligibility check. Okay? So, paano mo sasabihin class na pasado siya or eligible siyang eligible siyang mag-bid. Okay? Siyempre, dapat class andito rin yung date, time, tsaka place. Nung yan, submission of receipt, yung deadline nun, yung pre-bid conference, kung kailan mangyayari. Okay? Yung submission ng receipts, tapos kailan yung opening of bids. Kailan siya bubuksan. Okay? So kasama rin dapat kasi invitation of bid yung approved project for the contract. Okay? Nakasulat din dapat doon class saan manggagaling yung funds mo. Funds nung budget. Okay? Tapos dapat andun rin class yung period of availability. Tapos kung saan mo makukuha class yung bidding documents. Lastly class, ano yung contract duration? Okay? So, ganito class ang sample natin ng invitation to bid. So, technically class, dapat titignan mo no, kung pasok ba, andyan ba lahat laman. So, more or less, andyan class yung budget, ano yung project, okay? Tapos yung, ito, schedule ng pre-bid conference, yung issuance, yung mga ganyan. Yung mga discuss natin kanina. Okay? Yan. So next up class, discuss natin yung advertisement tsaka yung posting class nung invitation to bid. Okay? So yan. So dapat class more or less i-advertise yan ng procuring entity. Lalo na kasi pag gobyerno yan. Okay? Kasi syempre para mas maraming mag-bid class tapos yung transparency. Transparency tsaka competitiveness class. Okay? So ito yung specs class ng advertisement tsaka yung posting ng invitation to bid. So dapat daw class at least may advertise siya class sa isang newspaper na nagsa-circulate nationwide which has already been there for at least 2 years. Uh, 2 years before advertisement date. Okay, so dapat class yung newspaper na yan niya, may 2 years na siya before yung advertisement date mo. Okay? So ito class, hindi siya required for projects na 2 million and below. So yung advertisement class na yan, hindi siya required. So bakit siya kailangang required class? So required siya class kasi minsan kapag yung project mo above 2 million, meron kang penalty or you can be charged by law. Okay? So yung project mo class again, less than 2M or 2M, hindi na siya required i-advertise. Okay? So saan siya class i-advertise? Dapat class ma-advertise yung project. Again, lalo na class pag government, no? Yeah. Saan class? So dapat class nakapost siya sa PhilJeps. Yung website class ng procuring entity. So kung sa DPWH yung class, dapat nasa website ni DPWH. Pag DOLE class, dapat naka-DOLE. Ganun. Okay? Tsaka dun sa place, dun sa premises ng PE. So kung DPWH Baguio class, dapat andun yun. Dun sa kitang-kita. So meaning class ng conspicuous is yung halata na yung kitang-kita class, hindi nakatago. Okay? So tuloy natin. Yeah. Ito pala class yung itsura ng PhilJeps. So ang URL niya class is philjeps.gov.ph. Okay? So tingnan natin class yung site. So technically class, ang pinaka-description ng PhilJeps is PhilJeps is a single centralized electronic portal. So ito yung website class ng procurement that serves as the primary and definitive source of information on government procurement. So ito class strictly for government use. Okay? So ang malaga dito class more or less is yung bulletin board nila. Tsaka yung announcements. Okay? Ito lang kasi class hindi mo masyadong makikita yan kapag hindi ka naka-sign in. Yan. Okay? So bisitahin natin class yung PhilJeps site. So ito yung class, no? So kung titignan nyo, ito yung homepage nila. Okay? So ang malaga dito class again, dito sa bulletin board. Okay, close muna natin to. So punta tayo pa sa bulletin board. So technically dito class makikita mo yung former opportunities mo tapos yung open opportunity. So wala lang nagpapakita class again kasi hindi tayo naka-login. Okay? So technically kasi dito class may account ka. Kumbaga kailangan mo rin ng membership. Kasi parang i-verify nila class. Kapag member ka na kasi ng PhilJeps class, parang you are verified na pasok. Kumbaga meron ka ng company profile dun sa government dito sa site na to. Okay? So gamit yung company profile mo, syempre class, di ba, alam na nila kung ano yung kakayahan ng company mo class. So kung ano yung pasok class na projects doon, yun lang yung magpapakita dito. Okay? So since dito yung naka-login class, hindi nila ma-assess yung company profile natin, hindi nila masabi kung ano yung pwede. Kung ano yung open na opportunity na para doon sa company mo. Okay? So ito rin class para makita nyo yung itsura ng announcements. So andito yung announcement nila class. So kung titignan nyo class, meron silang blacklisting. Okay? So kung gusto nyo buksan natin class yung blacklisting, ito. Okay. Hindi rin kita. Pero may mga blacklisted contractors tsaka suppliers, providers, and all dito. Okay? So yun class ang PhilJeps. So again, PhilJeps, sila yung single centralized electronic portal that serves as primary and definitive source of information in terms of government project procurement. Okay? So tuloy natin class. Yan. So ito yung sinasabi ko class. So kapag yung project mo class above 2 million, yung budget niya, you are required to post. Okay? So may penalty tayo class for non-posting of invitation to bid. Okay? So ano yung law class na nag-regulate or magpe-penalize ng non-posting? So meron tayo nung Executive Order number 662 dated September 27, 2007. Okay? So ito yung amendments niya class. Ito. Kumbaga, it was made better. Yan. Okay? So, reiterated, dapat lahat ng procurement opportunities, related information, dapat nakalagay sa PhilJeps bulletin board. Okay? So, anong mangyayari, class? So, again, dun sa law, hindi ko lang tinignan kung ano yung penalty, no? Pero failure to post class sa PhilJeps, so, ang accountable dito, class, or ang liable, class, is yung official. Particularly, class, kung yung laman, class, ng bids and awards committee nila. Okay? So, ano yung kaso nila, class? Dereliction of duty. Okay? So, yan. Magkakaroon sila ng criminal case. Civil or criminal case. According dito sa law natin na to. Executive Order number 662. Okay? So, andyan na, class, yung pagkakakulong tapos may fine or something. Or pwede rin matanggalan ng lisensya. Okay? Yan. So, discuss natin, class, yung pre-bid conference. So, again, class, yung pre-bid conference natin, mandatory, class, ito. So, ang ginagawa kasi, class, sa pre-bid conference, dito dinidiscuss, class, yung pinakalaman. Ano yung pinakalaman, class, ng bidding documents, and specifications and all. Okay? So, it is required, class, for projects 1 million and more. Okay? Tapos, dapat, class, makonduct siya 12 construction days before yung deadline ng submission ng bid. Okay? So, pag complex, class, for complex items, siguro malaki rin masyado yung project. Technically, dapat it should be held 30 days before yung deadline. Okay? Tapos kung gusto namang, class, ng procuring entity, so pre-bid conference kasi, class, andito lahat. Di-discuss, syempre, lahat rin ng questions about the document. Andyan. Okay? So, kapag gusto ng procuring entity, class, na only bidders who purchase bid docs are allowed to attend or ask questions. Ito, class, discretion na to ng procuring entity. Okay? Lastly, class, yung attendance ng prospective bidders, hindi siya mandatory dito sa pre-bid conference natin. Okay? So, yun yung specs, class, ng pre-bid conference natin. So, discuss naman natin, class, yung supplemental bid bulletin. So, technically, class, yung supplemental bid bulletin, ang pinakalaman nito, class, is yung changes. Yung changes, class, sa bid docs natin. Okay? So, matik, class, pag walang supplemental bid bulletin na na-issue, ibig sabihin, class, lahat ng provisions ng bidding documents, yun na yung masusunod. Okay? Kasi nga, di ba, ang pinakayos nito, class, is kapag may changes sa bid docs, dapat mag-issue sila ng supplemental bid bulletin. Okay? Tapos, yun. Prospective bidders, including yung bidding winner, cannot be compelled to abide or comply with the changes made by eto. If no, supplemental bid was given. Okay? So, ito yung specs niya, class. So, statement made in the pre-bid shall not modify the terms of bidding documents unless ma-issue, class, dun sa supplemental bid bulletin. Okay? Tapos, ang use rin, class, ang isa ring use ng supplemental bid bulletin is kapag may may written request or clarification yung bidders. Okay? So, dapat, class, ito more or less yung clarifications nila. Ma-provide at least 10 construction days before yung deadline. Okay? Or like, yung issuance nung supplemental bid natin. Bulletin, dapat 10 days. Okay? So, technically, class, pwede rin itong ma-issue kapag may gustong i-clarify, class, yung bids and awards committee in terms of yung modification tsaka provision ng bid docs. Okay? So, yeah. Lastly, class, it is issued by back at least 7 construction days before deadline for submission of bids. Yan. Okay? So, technically, class, kung titignan nyo, dapat hindi ito mag-overlap. So, yung tanong tsaka clarification, class, ng bidders, dapat mabigay siya. Ito. 10 days before yung deadline. Tapos yung supplemental bid bulletin natin class, but may issue siya 7 days before yung deadline. So technically class, yung last na clarification sa question, ito, may 3 days sumagot class yung back dun sa tanong. Okay? So yan class ang supplemental bid bulletin. Meron pa pala class. So bidders who have submitted bids before issuance of supplemental bids to be informed in writing. So technically class, baka meron na nagbigay ng bids tapos biglang may lumabas ka sa supplemental bid, kailangan silang i-inform. Tapos pwede nila class i-withdraw or i-modify yung previous bids nila prior to the issuance of the supplemental bid. Okay? Tapos ito class, RA 9184 allows PEs, yung procuring entity, to issue supplemental bids upon the initiative, ito, for the purpose class of clarification tsaka modification ng any provision dun sa bidding document. Okay? So accordingly class, hindi pwedeng i-compel no procuring entity yung mga bidders or winner to submit, comply with the requirements not initially provided in the bid docs. Siyempre hindi rin pwede yun class. Hindi ka pwedeng piliting class more or less nung procuring entity, lahat ng hindi originally kasama class sa bid docs. Okay? So, tuloy-tuloy lang natin class. So, ano naman class yung guidelines tsaka rules natin in terms of modification tsaka withdrawal ng bids? Okay? So, first up class, a bidder may modify its bid provided it is done before the deadline. So, self-explanatory naman yun class, di ba? Parang yung assignments lang natin class, yung homeworks natin. Pwede mo pang palit-palitan yun class, palitan yung assignment mo. Basta hindi ka pa lumalagpas sa deadline. So, same with the bids. Okay? Secondly class, bidders modifying his bid will only be allowed to send another bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to the original and marked as modification. So, kapag gusto mong magpalit class, kailangan mong sundan ito. So, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to the original, tapos marked as modification. Okay? So, bid modifications received after the deadline shall not be considered and shall be returned to the bidder unopened. So, lahat class ng modifications, so late assignments class will not be entertained. Parang ganun. So, late bid na modification after the deadline class of submission, syempre, hindi na consider. So, bidder may withdraw his bid before deadline for the deadline of the receipt of bids. Okay? Technically, class, pwede kang mag-withdraw. But then again, class, a bidder who withdraws shall not be permitted to submit another bid directly or indirectly for the same contract. Okay? So, once na nag-withdraw ka, class, you lose all chances of bidding na dun sa project na yun. Okay? So, tuloy-tuloy lang tayo, class. So, receipt and opening of bids. So again class, di ba ito na yung opening natin class. So dapat class yung Bills and Awards Committee, i-open nyo yung bids in public. Okay? Para makita class agad-agad, or kumbaga dapat may audience tayo class dun sa opening. Para alam rin nila class kung sino yung nanalo sa winning bid. Okay? Tapos yun. So back shall check the submitted documents of each bidder against a checklist. So, meron tayong checklist class para dun sa envelope 1, sa envelope 2. Again, class, yung envelope 1, yun yung technical tsaka sa eligibility documents. So, yun muna yung unang bubuksan class. Okay? So, meron tayong checklist. So, yung checklist yung document na yun class, sasabihin niya lang kung pass or fail criteria. Okay? So, masasabi na class na pass yun kapag yung bidder nagbigay ng document. Tapos, failed class kapag yung binigay ng bidder, pag wala siyang binigay, or incomplete. Okay? So again class, envelope 1, lahat ng nag-pass, kung pasado ka sa envelope 1, saka lang bubuksan yung envelope 2. Kung envelope 1 pa lang class, bagsak ka na, hindi na rin bubuksan yung second envelope mo. Okay? So ito class yung parang eligibility requirements natin. So ganito class ang itsura ng registration certificates para sa DTI, itong SEC. So SEC class, Securities and Exchange Commission. CDA class is Cooperative Development Authority. Yan. Ito yung mga Class A documents. Okay? So it's or siya eh. Tapos yung Mayor's Permit class. Ito. So technically class yung business permit mo or yung permit to operate. Duly signed class by the mayor. Yan. Okay? So meron din tayo class ng tax clearance. Yan. So more or less nakasulat dito class. For bidding tsaka collection purposes. Okay? Tapos meron din tayo class ng net financial capacity. Tsaka yung audited financial statement mo. Yan. Kung ano yung kaya ng company mo as a whole. Okay? So, meron tayo class ng Class B documents. So, Class B documents, class andyan yung joint venture agreement. Yan. Okay? So, for foreign bidders, class more or less, yung foreign bidders naman class, hindi kaya makakuha ng mga ganito, yung mga Philippine documents. Okay? So, pwede silang substitute class. Okay? So, ang substitute ng Class A documents, class equivalent documents issued by their own country. Yeah. Tapos dapat may accompanied English translation. Okay? So kasi ang Pinas naman class, di ba, ang pinakaano natin class for international language as the whole world class, English. Okay? Tapos ito class, as a form of tax clearance, delinquency verification certificate is issued for the foreign corporations. Okay? So, ito naman yung class, ang kagandahan pag may PhilJeps member ka kasi class, di ba? Yun nga class, di ba? Discuss natin kanina class, may membership ang PhilJeps. So, more or less class, pag na-prove mo rin kasi class na member ka ng PhilJeps, parang supposedly class, may proof ka na. Kapag nabigyan ka kasi class ng membership certificate, parang itong mga to, na-verify na siya. Okay? So, kapag member ka ng PhilJeps class, more or less, andun na sa system nila kung ano yung mga eligibility documents mo. Okay? So, kumbaga mas madali class. So, parang pag linatagan mo na sila ng membership certificate ng PhilJeps, more or less, meron na silang database kung ano yung eligibility docs mo class. Yan. Okay, so kung titignan natin class, yan, parang nakasummarize. Ito. Okay? Yan. So, ito class yung checklist. So, again, compare mo lang class kung pass or fail. So, again, class criteria for passing kapag na-provide niya. Mag-fail yan class kapag wala siyang na-provide or incomplete yung pre-provide niya. Okay? So, dito lahat class. Ito naman yung technical natin class. So, again, ang technical natin class, nakadepende to. Depende yan class kung ano yung scope ng project or ano yung project mo mismo. Okay? Financial documents class, same. Mag-vary rin to class, depende kung ano yung project mo. So more or less class, itong tatlo, yan. So check nila, no? Check yan, pass, fail. Tapos, yan, pipirma ngayon class yung bids and awards committee members. Okay? So, kung sino man yung may bidding with class, ay, ito pala class, kung titignan nyo kasi, di ba, meron tayong, ito. Yan. So, dito kasi yan, parang may detailed unit price analysis. So, ganito class ang sample format ng detailed unit price analysis. So, kung titignan mo class, may materials, quantity, unit price, yung unit, tapos yung unit price, tapos ano yung total cost. Okay? So, gusto nila class, andyan yung sa materials, meron sa labor, tapos meron sa equipment. Okay? Tapos sila rin yung class mag-provide nito. So, more or less kung ano yung percentages nila ng indirect cost, ano yung tax, ano yung contractor's profit, yung mga ganyan. Okay? So, yung winning bid class, pag natapos na lahat-lahat, ganito yung ibibigay sa kanya, notice of award. So, yung winning bid class na bidder, bibigyan siya niyan ng letter na ganito. So, more or less class, ganito rin yung format. Okay? So, yung problem 1 class, discuss natin for the next video. Okay? So, dito natin class i-end. So i-end natin dito class yung part 1 ng discussion natin ng Module 5. So yeah, thank you for staying class. See you in the next video. So for the next video class, sagutan natin yung problem 1. Bye!